If you're looking for a relatively cheap and easy to put together deck that will be able to play the competitive Pokemon TCG for at least the next couple of months, then Zoroark is probably a pretty good place for you to get started. This Zorobox deck features a whole bunch of different Stage 1 attackers. Let's talk through them in a second. First though, focus in on Zoroark. Why is this called Zorobox? Well, Zoroark has an ability called Phantom Transformation, which means that once during your turn, you can put a Stage 1 Pokemon from your discard pile into play, replacing this Zoroark on the bench. You discard this Zoroark and all cards attached to it, and put a Stage 1 Pokemon from your discard pile in its place. This means that you can have a whole bunch of different Stage 1 attackers and use them up to 4 times thanks to our 4/4 Zoroark line. The main Stage 1 attacker that we're going to be utilizing is Wormadam. With Matron's Anger, it does 30 damage for 2 colorless energy, plus 10 more for each Pokemon in our discard pile. That is very, very strong, especially late in the game when you've discarded a whole bunch of your Pokemon. Plus, you want to do that to get Zoroark's ability affecting itself, so you want to be able to get those Pokemon in there. Plus, it's also Fighting type, which will hit Arceus V-Star for weakness, obviously. If they're playing Dunsparce, which will remove the weakness, that's a problem. But anyway, this will do the job generally. Ultimately, we can also hit into a whole bunch of other Pokemon for weakness as well. We've got one Metal Wormadam with the exact same attack. This can hit into cards like Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX for weakness. We also have 2 copies of Golisopod. This card for 2 colorless energy does 30 damage plus 50 for every Pokemon V or GX that your opponent has in play. That can potentially deal a ton of damage, as well as being super effective against all grass weak Pokemon. At the moment there aren't that many, but next set Zamarot V-Star comes out and that is weak to grass, so definitely worth preparing yourself for. If you're looking for some nice neutral damage, then Flapple for a single colorless energy has Acidic Mucus, 50 times the amount of Pokemon that your opponent has in play that have abilities. Those kind of Pokemon can attack really, really easily and deal a lot of damage, usually 2 hitting your opponent's Pokemon. The best part about this deck is, even though we are relying on Zoroark, we can get our Wormadams in play thanks to cards like Burmy. Obviously, we're playing a bit of a thinner line there. We want to rely on our Zoroark most of the time, but we're going to be able to get these attackers out, and it's all single prizes, so we don't need to worry about decks like Mew or Arceus trading with us more efficiently, which is the critical thing that we're worried about. Now, how do we draw cards in this deck? It's obviously got a lot of different attackers and we need to draw into them and discard them. Well, we've got Make Do Cinccino, a 2/2 line of that particular Pokemon means we can discard a card from our hand and draw 2, and if we discard a Pokemon like a Stage 1, then we can use it with our Zoroark's ability. Plus, we also have 2 copies of Industrious Incisors Bibarel, which allows us to draw cards into our hand until we have 5, which is a really, really fantastic ability, reminiscent of the old Octillery. We also play 1 copy of Manaphy to stop Pokemon like Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX and Jolteon VMAX from hitting our bench. Since we are a single prize deck, this is one of the only ways to really trade with us evenly, and Wave Veil means that they cannot do that. They can't deal damage to our benched Pokemon, so that is very, very strong. The other thing that makes this deck really, really strong is Cynthia's Ambition, which allows us to draw up to 5 cards in our hand, or if we've had a Pokemon knocked out that turn, draw up to 8 cards. We're drawing a whole bunch of different cards into our hand after one of our single prize Pokemon has been knocked out. Cynthia is a fantastic draw support option. We also have cards like Choice Belt to try and increase the damage that we're dealing to our opponent's Pokemon V, V-Star, V-Max. That is obviously going to add 30, and we have a ton of energy as well. 7 double colorless energy, twin energy, there's 4 copies of this, and then there are 3 copies of double turbo energy as well. Overall, I think this deck is a really, really good place to get started with if you are interested in playing competitively, but you can't put together a deck that's got a lot of Vs and V-Stars in it. Plus, it also gets really, really good attackers in the next set, so you can definitely improve it, make it better as we go along. What I'll do is I'll take it across onto the ladder and see if I can play some games with it and get some wins, and hopefully you enjoy. Okay, let's see how this goes. I have not played Pokemon for a very long time. If you are a member of the channel or a regular attender, then you will have noticed that, and apologies, by the way, for not being around as often as I would have liked. That's okay. We're back, though, with some games. I'm going to grab a Zorua here. We've discarded one of our Stage 1 attackers already, which is very, very nice. And we've got ourselves ready to have 2 Stage 1s in play, plus we can get some other Stage 1s into the discard pile next turn. We can put Zoroark in play, we can use Wormadam to evolve our Burmy in the active. And it looks like we are playing against a dark deck like Gengar, I would guess, where Shugen looks like he's going to be gearing himself up to be playing Gengar VMAX, and to be honest, it's a really good matchup for us because Gengar is weak to fighting, which means Wormadam is going to be doing a lot of damage in this matchup. If they do play something like Single Strike, Urshifu VMAX, that could be a little bit difficult to get through, but that's okay. We should be fine regardless. There it is. There's the Gengar. Okay, so we know what we're up against. It's just a matter of making sure that our strategy is achievable, and I honestly think it is. They're going to bite with Houndour, and not only have we got a good matchup, they've had a really slow start. We're going to go for an Evo Incense. I'm going to grab myself a Golisopod here. We'll put that into our hand, I think. Just to discard it, we don't really care about having it in play just yet, but we do need to discard some Pokemon, so we will be doing that. There's the Professor's Research that we can throw some Pokemon away with. Looking for a energy of some description here, which we have managed to find. I like. We've also got a Level Ball, which could grab ourselves a Minccino. And now we will be set for next turn to try and get some more Pokemon in that discard pile. For now, though, we don't need to stress too much. We have 3 Pokemon in the discard pile, which means that we will be dealing 60 damage, so we can hit into that Houndour and take a knockout. And now our opponent is in a position where they don't have an attacker, they don't have a support Pokemon in play, so we're at least going to have another turn to get ourselves going. This Wormadam should not be knocked out anytime soon. So we are in a good spot. It's not a spot that we'd expect to be in all the time. Obviously, there are turns when Gengar sets itself up way, way better, but it's worth noting that we do have that weakness. So even if we were in a even or behind position, we'd still be able to win. Now it's just a matter, though, of making sure that we get as many Pokemon in the discard pile as possible to try and get that attack going quickly. Matron's Anger needs to be big damage quickly. We're going to try and do that. Marnie is obviously not ideal, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. We were going to have the Minccino, but now we needed to get a little bit of luck to get there. We managed to find it, which is good, and our opponent doesn't have anything for themselves. So I'm liking this. What we're going to do is we're going to grab Cinccino, with Evo Incense. We'll throw that down. We've got enough Pokemon in the discard pile already to take a knockout, so I don't need to go searching for anything. I don't need to use the Rescue Carrier either. We do have Cynthia's Ambition, though. That is a good card to have access to. I'm thinking we might grab Bidoof here. I think Bidoof is probably a good option. We can throw that down. We've got the Evo Incense for next turn. We don't need to do anything else. Let's just Matron's Anger again, take a couple more prizes. Now, we might get knocked out this turn. There is a chance that they come in with the Gengar V or VMAX and knock out our Wormadam, which is not ideal, but if they do that, then we have Cynthia's Ambition in our hand. We can draw a ton of cards, up to 8 if our opponent has knocked a Pokemon of ours out this turn. Or, worst case scenario, we can use Level Ball and Evolution Incense to find some more Pokemon, Cinccino and Bibarel, which we can find off of the Evo Incense. They will be our draw cards if we don't get knocked out. Now, our opponent has an Urn. They're going to throw that energy back into the deck. They have, they're dealing 70 damage at the moment, so they could theoretically knock out our active with this Houndour. I don't think it's their best choice, but it's definitely an option, so can't begrudge them that if they want to do it. At the moment, though, it looks as though we are just in such a dominant spot. They are going to research, though, so maybe giving themselves a better chance. There's an attachment. They're actually going to go for the Darkness Fang for knockout here. We have 90 HP left, because they dealt 20 before. They're going to be dealing 50, plus
20 for every single strike energy attached to them. Oh, they're not gonna do it. Okay, I thought they were gonna go for it, but turns out no. Oh, hang on, no, they're just gonna knock us out regardless. Come on, Mitch, get your maths together. You can tell that I haven't done this for a long time. The 2 single strike energies are gonna be enough to knock the Wormadam out here, which is good and bad. It's good because it means that we get to use that Cynthia. It's bad because we now need to find energy, but we should not be afraid at the moment. Energy is not at all one of our worries. We are going to grab ourselves another Zorua off of this level ball. Now's the time to start getting these Zoroarks in play. I think though I'm going to grab Bibarel off of this Evo Incense. We just like to have those extra cards. We'll put that down on the Bidoof, and then we can Industrious Incisors, fill up our hand a little bit now. Take a look. Nothing much going on. Let's research these Pokemon away. We don't need any of those. We do need these energies, though. I'm glad they're coming down. And we've got Cinccino to use as well. We'll put the Burmy on the bench. Let's think. What do we want to do? Let's Level Ball. We'll grab ourselves a Pokemon that we're probably not going to use, like Cinccino. And then we will use Make Do to discard that Pokemon. Get rid of it. Draw some extra cards. Now, the important thing is we need to use Phantom Transformation before we attach our energy, because if we attach the energy first, we'll actually lose them all. I'm going to grab Flapple here. We're going to be dealing 150 damage with Flapple. Means that we can attach either the Double Turbo or the Twin to take the knockout. Double Turbo is probably a little bit better. We can Acidic Mucus here and easily KO our opponent's Houndoom, despite the fact that we've got that minus 20 damage from the Double Turbo energy. We want to save the Twin for when we're using an attack onto our opponent's Gengar. I think the Gengar, for me, is the critical piece. If they want to attack and win the game consistently, they're going to need to use the Gengar. We want to hold the Twin so that we can attack and get as much damage on the Gengar VMAX as possible. Could even just be the Gengar V, to be honest. But yeah, we are in a really, really strong spot. We've got all of our Pokemon set up. Our opponent doesn't necessarily have a board, but they're in a position that we would still, even if we were behind on prizes, we'd still expect to win. Like, this is the thing, even if we were 6 prizes to 5, I would still expect to win in this situation, because we can knock out their Gengar, their Crobat, and their Houndoom before they can take 5 prizes. Like, it's not difficult for us to win this game. Especially the way that our opponent's been drawing. It's obviously not a good spot for them to be in at the moment. They've only got 7 cards left in their deck, plus the 4 in their hand, so they're obviously giving this one up at the moment, which is fair enough, but we will we'll continue to go through and play the game as if it were, you know, a proper one. We'll Evo Incense for Golisopod, and then we've got Cinccino we can use, we've got Professor's Research we can use as well. Flapple, not necessarily the most powerful Pokemon now, because there's only 2 Pokemon with abilities in play, so that's not ideal, but we can retreat, so we'll just Phantom Transformation. We'll go into our Wormadam. We'll get our Wormadam in play. We can attach the Twin Energy to it, and then I think we're fine. I think this is not a bad... I don't think this is a problem at all. We can just retreat into that Wormadam. We probably Industrious Incisors here to draw another card. Oh, another energy. That's pretty good. That'll sort us for next turn. And then we can Matron's Anger. I don't know how much damage we're dealing here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's going to be 150 times 2, which will be 300 damage into that Crobat. And we are now 1 attack away from winning this game, which some people will say isn't necessarily a reflection of the matchup, because Gengar usually draws better than this. But you know what? The second they put down a 2-prize Pokemon, we were able to win the game. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. We are looking good here. We can now just pass the turn to win, which I really like. Our opponent has no cards left in their deck, which means that even if we just pass, we win the game. There's the concession. We get a win with Worms. We will try this one more time. We've got ourselves an interesting hand, but a fantastic matchup. So this is all good. We're going to get rid of a Zoroark. I'm a brave guy here. We're going to grab a Minccino, and we are going to leave it, I think, at that. There's not much more that we need to do.
we can just pass this turn and hope for the best. Our opponent's playing Eternatus, so we're in the exact same situation that we were in against Gengar, in the sense that we've got a really good matchup. Eternatus has weakness to fighting, so if we can get our Wormadams in play and attacking quickly, then we should be able to win this one. The issue, though, of course, is that we might not be able to get enough Pokemon in the discard pile to have an effective game plan against Eternatus. Especially considering the fact that our opponent will probably get their attackers set up mighty quickly. There's an Umbreon V, so they've got the VMAX Umbreon as well to help them use Boss's Orders effects to knock out Pokemon on our bench. Umbreon VMAX has an ability that allows you to bring a benched Pokemon from your opponent's side of the field into the active, which is not great for us, but I will say this much, it's weak to grass. Our Golisopod might be a very strong card in this matchup. So we've got 2 Pokemon that can deal weakness, which I like. So I'm very, very happy with the situation that we're currently in, although we are top decking a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Our turn here, we've got double Level Ball, so that's pretty good. We can Level Ball ourselves a... we definitely want a Cinccino. So we're going to grab that, because we need to put the Wormadam in the discard pile to hit for like 60 damage, if that. We can also Level Ball again. I think we might make do... No, we should Level Ball first. We'll get rid of a card that is not a draw supporter, because I honestly just want a draw supporter right now. Let's grab another Zorua, actually, because then we might at least be able to attack again next turn. We're going to make do. We're going to put the Wormadam into the discard pile. And we've found a Professor's Research. That's actually pretty good. I don't know if I want to use it, because I like the idea of keeping the Ordinary Rod. So to be honest, we might just attack. No, we should Rod and... We're just going to Rod and Go. We're going to Rod and Go. We're going to go double Zoroark, and then we're going to research 2 Pokemon away. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to do that. We're going to get as many Pokemon in the discard pile as we can. It's going to be fine. A VIP Battle Pass has not done well for us here. Our hand is atrocious, but we get to hit into our opponent's active for 120 damage, so that's fine. I don't mind. I would really prefer it if there was not double Zoroark in our hand every single time. That would be great if we could not have that. But you know what? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. What is the worst that can happen? Our opponent is setting themselves up nicely. They've got an Eternatus VMAX with 370 HP, thanks to that Big Charm. Big Charm adding 30 HP to your Pokemon's HP pool, meaning that we effectively need to hit 400 damage, so 200. We need to have 17 Pokemon in the discard pile, or 14 in a Choice Belt, which is incredibly difficult for us to do to one-shot this thing. But they need to knock out 6 Pokemon, and we only need to knock out 2, realistically. They probably will have a second VMAX Pokemon in play at some point. Could even be now. We might even see it now. Now? Maybe? Now? Moltres. That's not it's not a 3-prize Pokemon, but it is weak to grass, so that's good for us. Our Golisopod, like I said, will come up trumps in this particular game. Not good for us at the moment, though, hand-wise. We've got Zoroarks out the wazoo, but nothing else, as often happens. Another Golisopod. Okay, let's go for Level Ball. We're going to grab ourselves another Zorua, and we are going to play that down. We're going to use Make Do to discard a Golisopod, and we're going to hope that we get something good, and we don't. We don't. That's okay. We're going to Quick Ball. We're going to grab ourselves a... oh boy, probably a Burmy, I think, just to get an actual attacker in play. We need these Wormadams to do something. We're very, very quickly running out of Zoroarks. We're only going to have 1 more left in the deck after this. But that's okay. We've got plenty of Pokemon in the discard pile, so I like that side of things. We'll throw down the Zoroark. We'll throw down the Burmy. We will use the Level Ball. We're going to grab ourselves a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. And I think it's going to be Bidoof. I like the idea of getting the Bibarel as soon as we possibly can. And then we can just research. We won't worry about the rescue carrier per se. We just want to be able to get a big enough attack off. And this looks like a relatively nice attack. Like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to grab Golisopod here. Golisopod's going to deal a ton of damage to our opponent. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Hard Time Slash is going to do 50 for every V Pokemon that they have in play, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we're not going to quite get the knockout. Or at least I don't think we are. I'm going to chuck the Choice Band on anyway, because I don't think it really... Oh, no, because it's plus 30. So that... Oh, hang on, no, that's 360. Yeah, okay. So I was like, we're only going to be doing 300, because there's 6 V Pokemon in play. But they also have plus 30 base. It also has plus 30 base. And then... Yeah, I didn't do the maths right. That's alright. Most people aren't watching at this point anyway. So it doesn't matter. No one saw that. If you did see it, please don't abuse me in the comments. You would have thought in the month that I was off making videos, I would have done some basic mathematics training, but apparently not. Apparently I decided to just let this one go. So I let that one go through to the keeper. I'm going to leave this Eternatus VMAX with 10 HP. Oh well, doesn't matter. We've got another Zorua, we've got another Burmy, or 2 actually. We've got 1 in our hand as well, plus 1 in the Wormadam in the deck, which is good. So we should still be able to win. But it's definitely not ideal. It's definitely not ideal. I should have trusted my gut. I didn't think we were taking a knockout, but that's okay. It's okay. I got consumed by the idea that there was a plus 30 base, and I was like, oh, well, that'll cover the difference. The difference is 70, but that's fine. We'll cover that 70 with a 30 base damage off the hard time slash. That's fine. It's fine. Hey, at least that didn't happen because I forgot the numbers on double turbo energy. Let's just say that much. At least that didn't happen. Because that would have been embarrassing. But it doesn't. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We could potentially get a knockout with Wormadam, the metal type, at the moment as well. That's even better. Now they've given us a free extra Pokemon, so now we'll be dealing 300 and whatever damage, more than 370. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. They're gonna Dark Asset. What are they gonna go for? What are they looking for here? I mean, they still have to take so many prizes. We should be able to win this comfortably. They're going to Dread End, take their second prize of the game. We can promote pretty much whatever we want here and take a knockout. I'm going to go with the Cinccino. That's the point of the game that I'm at. I'm going to put the Cinccino into the active. We're going to knock out this Eternatus with a Cinccino. Now, I probably should attach to it first before I do anything stupid. We'll play down the Burmy. I like the idea of having the Wormadam in play just as an option. Then we're going to Evo Incense into our Bibarel, which we definitely need to have. We want that in play. Then we will Industrious Incisors. We'll draw some more cards. A Boss's Orders is really good. I like that. I like that a lot. Boss could take a knockout in the late game that we need. We're going to Cynthia first. I'm going to leave that Zorua unevolved. No, I'm going to evolve it. It's fine. If they knock me out, it's whatever. I don't care. They're not brave enough to do that. And then we play down the Minccino. We Energy Assist. We're going to deal 20 damage to the active. There's no energy in the discard pile. Now, if they gust around us, we've got a retreat option. We've got anything pretty much that we want to take a knockout on next turn, we can. We've got the boss. It's going to be fine. Now we have the energy. And pretty much, like, the only thing that is going to stop us from winning this game is running out of cards, I think. I genuinely think we're in a position now where as long as everything stays the same, it will be fine. We'll win the game. Because they can never take 4 prizes before we take however many it is that I was saying that we needed to take. Another 3. Now our opponent's gone and done the one thing that we didn't want them to do there, which is they've gusted the Zoroark. Zoroark could have won the game for us by turning into a friendly Golisopod to knock out that Umbreon VMAX, but you know what? We've got so many Pokemon in the discard pile already. It's not that big of a deal. We can get rid of more with Cinccino. We can use Boss's Orders to bring up any Pokemon that we want, including the damaged Eternatus, which we could knock out theoretically with our Metal-type Wormadam. So I'm feeling okay. It's just a... Okay, I was like, what are you doing here, friend? He's retreating. He's getting more cards into his hand with the Crobat. That's fine. What voice was that? I've never done that voice before. Don't know.
Honestly. Okay, they've got what? They've got like nothing left. Their deck is empty. They've got nothing left. They're gonna come out. Are they gonna Marnie me behind the pile? Okay, well that's gonna stuff me up big time. Dang. Dang. Nuts. Here I was, talking about how easy this was gonna be, and now probably not as easy. But that's okay, it's gonna be fine. As I have profusely mentioned, even though they've done this, we still only need to take 2 prizes, they need to take 3. Like, 2 knockouts, sorry. We need to take 2 knockouts, they need to take 3. So it is fine. And that Flapple would be a really good Pokemon to have in the discard pile, to be brutally honest. Matron Zanga does 30 plus 10. They have 190 left, so we're going absolutely fine here. This is all just fine. This is just fine. Okay. Well, those cards are terrible. Why would you do that to me? Why would that happen? Okay, Industrious Incisors for 1. Maybe it's a useful card? It's not. It's a Bruno. Let's just research and get rid of all these cards. I don't care about any of them. No energy still? Alright. Okay. That's terrible. We're gonna go for the Rescue Carrier here. We're gonna get another Cinccino back and another Zorua. We'll pretend like we can get that Zoroark back into play. Let's have a look. Are there energy in the deck? There's 3. There's 3 energy in the deck. So we should be able to get one with this Make Do, unless we are incredibly unlucky. Thank you very much. There we go. We managed to get one. And then I think it's just a matter of attaching to Wormadam, retreating and attacking. Hopefully we've got enough Pokemon in the discard pile. I didn't count. This is fine, it's fine, because we're still in the lead, guys. We're still in the lead. We just need to attack 2 more times. We have Boss, we have 2 sets of energy. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm starting to believe that less and less. We might actually lose here. Gonna Marnie us again. We're gonna draw into Boss Double Energy plus 2 of the cards that we already have. Let's see. Wormadam, pretty good. Could we maybe get a knockout on an Eternatus VMAX? Could that be an option? If they knock this Wormadam out, could we do that? Maybe. If they attack into us, we get to attack with Cinccino again? That would be incredible. I've left this one a little late, folks. I've left this one a little late indeed. We have equal amounts of cards left. So I'm feeling good on that front. They're going to use their Umbreon to bring up the Zorua. That is super good news for us. That's actually incredibly good news. Because now we have an attack. Okay, now we have 2 attacks with at least a Wormadam. The worms are coming up clutch. They're going to retreat into Eternatus. They're going to knock the Zorua out. Okay. Whatever you want, champ. Whatever you want. Let's put the Burmy in the active. Let's make do away the Zorua. Now we only have a few cards. We're going to make do away the Bidoof. We're going to put the Wormadam in play. We're going to attach the Twin Energy. And we're going to Matron Zanga. We're going to win the game with 0 cards left. I didn't check that maths. I probably should have checked that maths. Imagine if we lost that.
So thank you very much for sticking around. Thank you to the members. These members won't necessarily be accurate because there will be some people who jumped off in the 30-day absence that I had, and to be honest, I don't blame them. I appreciate you though if you did stick through. I'll leave these names up here for a while, and I'll tell you what, if you want to check out a deck that's pretty good as a budget one, then Malamar's pretty solid too. You could click on this link over here. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, click on that. Click on it. Come on.